The Devi Awards were designed and are designed to recognize and honor professional women who, through their exceptional work in different sectors, are changing the lives of people around them. We instituted the awards in New Delhi in December 2014 and have since paid tribute to more than 200 women achievers from around the country in 20 editions.
Integrity,
the equality of surprise.
A home away from home. The residential blocks at VIS with a house parent dedicated to your child's every need, ensuring a safe well-being. Vellore International School. Education for tomorrow.
He showed us that courage does not need the crutches of power, and that oppression cannot suppress the will of the truly awakened. Today, his legacy is inspiring a new breed of Indians whose strength, vision, and idealism is changing the face of India. Saluting this new Indian, the New Indian Express. It's new, it's Indian, it's Express.
The Devi Awards were designed and are designed to recognize and honor professional women who, through their exceptional work in different sectors, are changing the lives of people around them. We instituted the awards in New Delhi in December 2014 and have since paid tribute to more than 200 women achievers from around the country in 20 editions.
integrity,
The equality was surprise.
A wonderful,
Such a big honor.
Must say this, that it is encouraging that platforms like this exist to celebrate the potential of women in our country.
Super Devi behind Mahan Devis.
I think all of us have a Devi inside of us. It's a real honor to be here.
We don't talk about the better half. We know it's the best half.
I have two daughters, I have three sisters. I'm surrounded by women, so I think I came to understand them a little better than others.
The Devi Awards were designed and are designed to recognize and honor professional women who, through their exceptional work in different sectors, are changing the lives of people around them. We instituted the awards in New Delhi in December 2014 and have since paid tribute to more than 200 women achievers from around the country in 20 editions.
integrity,
The equality was surprise.
A wonderful,
Such a big honor.
Must say this, that it is encouraging that platforms like this exist to celebrate the potential of women in our country.
Super Devi behind Mahan Devis.
I think all of us have a Devi inside of us. It's a real honor to be here.
We don't talk about the better half. We know it's the best half.
I have two daughters, I have three sisters. I'm surrounded by women, so I think I came to understand them a little better than others.
The Devi Awards were designed and are designed to recognize and honor professional women who, through their exceptional work in different sectors, are changing the lives of people around them. We instituted the awards in New Delhi in December 2014 and have since paid tribute to more than 200 women achievers from around the country in 20 editions.
integrity,
The equality was surprise.
a wonderful,
Such a big honor.
Must say this, that it is encouraging that platforms like this exist to celebrate the potential of women in our country.
Super Devi behind Mahan Devis.
I think all of us have a Devi inside of us. It's a real honor to be here.
We don't talk about the better half. We know it's the best half.
I have 2 daughters, I have 3 sisters. I'm surrounded by women, so I think I came to understand them a little better than others.
Hello and welcome everyone. It's so delightful to see you all here. It's a packed audience and yeah, it is wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. As I said, wonderful. This is our 23rd edition. We've recognized over 250 women across India from Kochi to, not Kanyakumari, but Kochi to Delhi, from Mumbai to Bhubaneswar. So it's our pleasure to return to Chennai. As I said, to the 23rd edition. I'd like to invite our CEO, Lakshmi Menon, the CEO of the New Indian Express, to come and give a welcome address, and we'll start the proceedings. Thank you so much.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the New Indian Express Group, a warm welcome to our very distinguished chief guest, Ms. Kiran Bedi, our wonderful Devis, and all our special guests who are here today. Ancient Indian texts state that where there is respect for women, there will be presence of the divine. And in these texts, we have seen that the woman is celebrated as the most powerful and empowering, as Shakti or Devi. We at the New Indian Express believe that strong, independent women are the backbone of the nation. We act on this belief by organizing the Devi Awards, which recognizes and honors exceptional women across various sectors who display dynamism and innovation in their line of work, and to ensure that their successes and voices are heard and heeded. To celebrate and value the incredible success stories, the Devi Awards is back in Chennai for the second time. This in itself seems an achievement, considering the times that we live in, given the harrowing 2 years that an invisible enemy sliced out our lives. But then we all stand here celebrating life as we honor 11 remarkable women achievers. It's absolutely true that every woman's success is an inspiration to many others to dream more, learn more, and do more. We grow stronger when we cheer each other, and it is for this very reason that we are here today, to cheer our Devis who have gone out there, charted awe-inspiring journeys, spread light, touched innumerable lives positively as they receive their awards. I once again welcome all of you here today to celebrate and honor our Devis. Thank you, and over to Kaveri.
As you can see, we don't just celebrate, we also actually do. We practice what we preach. Both our CEO and our editor are women, so I think that calls for a round of applause. May I now invite a woman who's been particularly a trailblazer in so many different fields, but of course, as the first woman IPS officer in India, she's always spoken her mind. Sometimes it gets her into trouble, but she doesn't really care. She charts her own path, walks her own path, and wherever there's an old boys network, she just slices that open and creates her old girls network, or a young girls network. She is still young. Kiran Bedi, former Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry, may I now invite you to the stage. It's good to be back. May I invite Mr. Chawla, Editorial Director, the New Indian Express, to come and present a memento and a bouquet to Ms. Bedi. Yeah. We're giving you lots of excess baggage. I think you'll have to help her with it. That's not over. I'd like to invite Santhana Bhattacharya, our editor. As I said, we always walk the talk, to present a bouquet to Ms. Vedi. Santhana. So we can't start off without the lighting of the lamp. May I invite Mr. Sonthalia, our chairman, Mr. Chawla, our editorial director, Ms. Menon, our CEO, and Santhana, our editor, to come on stage and light the lamp. Ms. Vedi, please. Great, that's done. Thank you so much. Ms. Bedi, may I now invite you to say a few things? Perhaps you'd like to do it from the podium, or would you like a mic? Yeah. Yeah, come. Yes. Say a few words and then we'll give away the awards, please.
Can we have do you have a platform? Otherwise I'll use that.
Yeah, I don't think we do. You'll have to. Is that okay? I'll just
No,
lower it.
this is just not, this hides. It's very protective.
Oh. Right.
Okay,
I think you prefer that.
Yeah, I don't need that protection. I have some very laudatory words for your Devi Award. I want to thank you, giving me an opportunity to thank the New Indian Express and the entire teams, and certainly my two old friends in particular, who seem to be remaining young forever. One is Prabhuji, which is Prabhu Chawla, and my friend Kaveri. Kaveri and I have shared a few, both of us shared a few interviews together, grueling of course. And so these two friends I particularly thank. And they're calling me more than once, I don't know why. But congratulate all the, for them to institute this Devi Awards. And of course, congratulate all the award winners. Most deserving indeed, I saw you there. So Devi Awards, I believe, has recognized and honored exceptional women, as I saw, across all sectors, who showed dynamism and innovation in the line of work. I congratulate all of you, as I did before. You're in the areas of sports, I saw, science, art, culture, entrepreneurship, philanthropy, and medical practice. None from the government, so sad. Friends, I do believe all of you have rewritten the rules. The winners rewrote the rules. They ignored the limits. They were trusted certainly by their families. They were themselves, most important. They went beyond the testing waters, as I believe, and made waves. They made their own choices. And the key was excellence. I have something very interesting to tell you, and I think you will not forget. This is something which was said by a man. William Golding, British novelist, said, he was a playwright and a poet, born in 1911. I think he was ahead of his times. He says, I think women are foolish to pretend they're equal to men. They are far superior and always have been. Whatever you give a woman, she'll make it greater. If you give her a sperm, he said, she will give you a baby. If you give her a house, she will give you a home. If you give her groceries, she will give you a meal. If you give her a smile, she will give you a heart. She multiplies and enlarges whatever is given to her. I added, you give a woman an internet, she creates an enterprise. And I further added, you gave me an NCC uniform way back when I was only 14 years old. I converted into an Indian Police Service uniform.
Wonderful.
Every woman who awakens courage with humility is Durga. Every woman who awakens transformation herself is Kali. Every woman who awakens devotion with my own writing I can't read, is Parvati, every woman who awakens devotion is Parvati. Every woman who awakens nurturing within herself is Annapurna. Every woman, friends, is Shakti. Every woman, therefore, is a Devi. And you're celebrating Shakti today. Thank you once again and congratulations to you.
As usual, inspiring and to the point. May I now request Mr. Chawla and the chairman to come to the stage and help give away the awards with Ms. Bedi. So we start with one of my favorite writers and one of the finest scholars I think we have currently in the country, Dr. Nandita Krishna. May we have the AV.
Dr. Nandita Krishna. A historian, environmentalist, and author based in Chennai, Nandita Krishna is responsible for the revival of Kurumba painting, Kota pottery, and traditional drawing and painting in Mamallapuram, and for the introduction of Tamil folk art forms in schools. The author of 23 books on Indian art, culture, religion, and environment, Nandita has pioneered the documentation of India's ecological heritage. She is the recipient of several awards, including Nari Shakti Puraskar, Stri Ratna, an Outstanding Woman of Asia, and a D.Lit from Vidyasagar University, West Bengal. She has recently been awarded the National Fellowship by the Indian Council of Historical Research.
Nandita, we can't let you go so quickly, so you have to tell us how do you balance all these? How do you juggle all these roles?
Hard work, very hard work. I think that's what makes the difference. It's been a long journey, 45 years, building up the C.P. Ramaswamy Iyer Foundation, establishing the Institute of Ideological Research, Environmental Education Center, several schools and all. I think what I have always done is, and what I believe is, to combine research with communication, taking what you learn to the people, and action. So it has been a long journey, a difficult journey, and of course it's very important to have family support, and I've had that. My husband, my son are both here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, your son's here too?
Yeah, he's the one standing and taking a photo.
Oh, well done.
So
Good.
one of my sons.
Great.
So it's been a wonderful journey.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, and may you continue to achieve greater heights. Thank you. Next up, we have Vidya Subramanian, who's training a next generation of artists beautifully and is quite amazing. We'll hear more about her. May we have the AV, please?
Vidya Subramanian. Vidya Subramanian is a Carnatic vocalist and disciple of Maestro Padma Bhushan Lalguri Jayaraman. She is the founder of the Vidya Subramanian Academy, an online portal that has been imparting training in Carnatic music and other traditional Indian arts to students from all over the world for over a decade. Vidya runs her academy with a social commercial focus on empowering artists, especially women, with the ability to successfully share their knowledge in music and other art forms via the online platform. Vidya was conferred with the Women Transforming India or WTI 2021 Award, the Kalaima Mani Award 2018, Champion of Chennai Award 2022, and the Homepreneur Award 2018. Vidya was also recognized as an inspiring woman entrepreneur in the technology social impact space by Niti Aayog and FICCI in their prestigious Road to Global Entrepreneurship Summit 2017.
Vidya, how much of you is the CA and how much of you is the artist? I didn't know that she's actually, you did very well as a chartered accountant, I believe. You were what number?
Yeah,
top
I was
rank or
number
something?
2 in the final.
Okay.
I've been all over the place in my journey. I went on to do an MBA in the US in finance. And I have been learning and singing from a very young age. I had the amazing good fortune of learning and training under one of India's foremost musicians, Padma Bhushan Lalgudi Sri Jayaraman. Wow. And at some point, I was at crossroads because after completing my MBA, I held a couple of corporate positions in the US. And I must thank my husband, Subramanian, who's here. My parents and my daughter are here too. But my husband has played a tremendous role in sowing the entrepreneurial seed in me. And at some point, I decided to start a venture which brings together artists from across India who would like to share their knowledge in traditional art forms such as Carnatic music with students from across the globe. And I've been an artist myself, but my focus has kind of shifted to growing a social enterprise which serves as a platform for women empowerment, especially for artists, by creating an income stream for them, and also by encouraging and broad-basing accessibility to our classical art forms. Like many of our students are first-generation learners. We also have students with special needs, students from across the globe and also from small towns in India. So it's grown organically with the help and support of our, word-of-mouth network over the last 15 years.
Wonderful. It's so nice that they're all thanking their husbands. The husbands don't normally thank their wives so easily. Thank you so much. Next up is Vishaka Hari, Carnatic vocalist and Harikatha specialist. May we have the AV, please?
Vishaka Hari. Kalaimamani Vishaka Hari is a practitioner of the ancient and beautiful form of art called Harikatha or Katha Kirtan. Herein she weaves beautiful stories of value and wisdom, interspersed with mellifluous songs of great composers from yesteryear. Blending both music and Katha beautifully, she spreads valuable messages of love and peace throughout the world. She has been awarded several titles and has raised funds through her programs for several social causes. Presently, Vishaka is guiding children, teenagers and youngsters to look up to Indian culture and arts, for which she has been honored as the Distinguished Professor of Oriental Studies and Arts.
Vishaka, what is the most surprising thing that you've learned from your students, from your disciples? What is the most surprising thing?
Learned from my students?
Yes.
That they all seem to be more brilliant than the gurus. Probably. Because we think students are always, they are half-baked and much, much lesser than us. But my guru, Lalgudi Jayaraman sir, always used to say, when he used to say, I'm a senior student and you're all junior students.
Right.
So there is no teacher student, it's a senior and a junior student. So I think that is the same principle that surprises me. When they ask doubts, it's like, how do I answer? Just like what you asked right now.
Wonderful. May we tempt you to sing a little bit?
Ya Devi sarvabhuteshu madrirupena samsthita. Ya Devi sarvabhuteshu Vidya rupena samsthita. Shakti rupena samsthita, matri rupena samsthita, namastasyai, 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 namo namaha, namo namaha, namo namaha.
Thank you so much.
It's in praise of Devi.
Yes, perfect. We'll make it our anthem. Thank you so much. Next up is Radhika Santhana Krishnan, Managing Trustee, Sri Dhanvantri Trust, a truly extraordinary woman. May we have the AV, please?
Radhika Santhana Krishnan. Radhika Santhana Krishnan, a full-time philanthropist who has dedicated her life to a larger cause, started Pen Nalam, a unit of Sri Dhanvantri Trust. With the support and guidance of her Dr. Selvi Radhakrishna, she has made significant progress in increasing awareness and the treatment of breast, cervix and oral cancers. After commendable achievement in women's cancer care, Santhana Krishnan worked on cancers that occur due to tobacco use and started a separate unit called An Nalam, with a prime focus on treating cancers and diseases of the mouth for men and women.
Radhika, may I ask you, there must have been some really dark moments when you yourself were going through this terrible disease. What kept you going?
I did go through all the emotions which, everybody goes through. Fear, completely ignorant. And that is what I saw around me. And I think I was motivated to give back to society. I was lucky to have, my family to support me. And I was guided by my doctor, Dr. Selvi Radhakrishna. We started Pen Nalam, which means women wellness. And so far we have sensitized people, more than 3 lakh women all over Tamil Nadu. And so we have been very successful in saving lives of men and women from cancer on time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think that is one unique thing about women. We don't just work for ourselves, but work for the community as well. Okay. Now I think 2 lovely people who make cheese for a living. That's a great life. I know it sounds easier than it is. Anuradha Krishnamurthy and Namrata Sundaresan, founders of, how is it pronounced? Casa. Okay. Could we have the AV, please?
Anuradha Krishnamurthy and Namrata Sundaresan. Anuradha Krishnamurthy has 2 decades of working experience in the social sector. An alumna of the prestigious Goldman Sachs, she has been instrumental in setting up initiatives toward promoting the employability of people with disabilities and also heads Can Do, a skill development initiative for PWDs. Namrata Sundaresan has worked for over a decade in international trade and investment and is now globally recognized as a force in natural cheese making. She is trained under David Asher and is the only training partner for the Academy of Cheese UK for India. Pairing food, beverages and chocolates with coffee is an area of her interest and expertise.
So Anuradha and Namrata, I know it's a hard life, but someone's got to do it, right? Taste all that cheese. Come. Yeah. So tell us a little about the 40 different kinds of cheese that you've made.
Well, to start with, when Anu and I started, it actually started in a coffee shop where I keep telling people that Anu is the heart of the business and I'm the cheese maker. That's how it started with a social agenda. Anu has a social background. She wanted to work with girls who are different label, and she was thinking of baking as a skill for the girls. I had just come back from a farm stay where I had been introduced to cheese making. I had no idea of making it commercial. I just knew how to make one cheese. I said, you know what? We don't have a cheese brand. We should start making cheese. Anu's always practical, more level-headed. I still remember the look she gave me and said, but what are we going to do with the cheese, right? So it's been quite a journey because even today, artisan cheese is not recognized as an industry. Yeah. The food safety also doesn't recognize that. People understand very little because we just don't have a background of making it. But I think what has always kept us going is we realize that milk, which we often see as a commodity, is a wonderful food, right? And we just try to, our journey has been to create impact through cheese making. That's what we do. And I often say that feeding people makes me happy. So yeah, we're trying to feed everybody by making cheese.
Wonderful. And I believe there are 300 million cattle in India.
Yes, so we are the largest producer of dairy. Yeah. Almost about 73% of that is unorganized, which is with the pastoral communities. Yeah. And those are the people that we're working with. Yeah.
As I said, the work is tough. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Dr. P. Purna Chandrika, former Director, Institute of Mental Health, who's done a tremendous amount of work in mental health advocacy. Could we have the AV on her, please?
Dr. P. Purna Chandrika, a professor in the Department of Psychiatry at the Institute of Mental Health, Chennai. Dr. P. Purna Chandrika is a medical professional with a compassionate and friendly approach. She is a dedicated, punctual, and disciplined role model, along with being a competent administrative leader, acutely attentive to the needs of differently abled patients and the voiceless. Dr. Chandrika has created employment opportunities for those who recovered from mental health issues and has been actively rehabilitating and integrating them into mainstream society with dignity. She has also successfully ensured zero casualties among her inpatients during COVID-19.
Hi. Purna, I'd like to ask you how COVID has really affected all of us psychologically. We've heard so much about it, but what have you seen in your practice?
Yes, something bad brings out something good. So the bad of COVID brought out mental health issues. Yeah. And everyone started talking about it in the open. More conversations happened, more knowledge was about it, and everyone started accepting it. And that's also one of the reasons I'm here. So that's one good thing that came out of COVID. Everyone started acknowledging the magnitude in which it is there. So that's the one good thing COVID got. COVID was bad, but this is one good thing that happened.
But I hope that continues and the stigma around going to mental health professionals is less so now.
Yeah, we have a long way to go. Still, the stigma is always there because I'm working in the government, ma'am, and the government has made it has given us a very open-handed, and that is a way in which we got it forward. And one of the reasons I'm here was there was this wedding that happened at Institute of Mental Health. Two patients who met there on the campus decided to get married. Wow. And that's nice. They decided to get married, and the whole government administration turned to bless them. And just a week back when I met her, she told me, I have to thank you. I asked why. She said, now the family which said no to me is now talking with me. Wow. So thank a lot for making me getting accepted back into my family. So the stigma is still reducing. It's there, it's reducing. And hopefully more programs, more conversation, more stories. We'll get there.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
may I also call Kalpana and Santhana on stage to help give away the awards? By Kalpana, I mean Mrs. Sonthalia. Sorry to be so informal, please. I think, yes, if you could join us on stage. I think the men will step down and the women can take over now. Vijayalakshmi Nachiyar, she is the founder of Ethicus. I think it's a great brand which does a lot of work from farm to fashion. And I've read so much about it, and we'll talk briefly here. Could we have the AV, please?
Vijayalakshmi Nachiyar is a director at Apache Ecologic Cotton and the co-founder and creative director of Ethicus, India's first organic and sustainable farm-to-fashion brand. Passionate about textiles, she, through her work with Ethicus, is involved in the manufacture and revival of the finest handloom tradition of India. She also takes a keen interest in grooming young designers at the Ethicus Design Studio and has been traveling to design schools in India and abroad, spreading awareness about ethical consumerism and sustainable fashion. Ethicus has received the Future Shaper Award in 2012 from Textile Exchange for its work in promoting sustainable textiles.
So Vijayalakshmi, I'd like to ask you about that whole idea that the textile weaver is actually the designer but never gets quite recognized. And you've talked about how there was this weaver who actually saw his name tag on a sari and it was so emotional for him. So do talk about that whole idea.
So when we started Ethicus, I come from a family which is deep-rooted into the cotton ginning and growing of cotton. And whenever we talk amongst us, we say when a person wears a shirt, they do not realize that the effort of thousands of people have gone behind the making of that shirt. So in quest for our own identity, we started a brand, and we said the brand needs to talk about all the people who work behind it. And so from the first moment, from the first product, we put the picture of the weaver, we wrote about where the organic cotton was grown, we spoke about the artisans we worked with, and how many days it took them to make this product. So when we were getting all our products ready to launch our brand in 2009, we called all our weavers when we were ready to ship our goods to Mumbai, and we told them, pick up all the saris that you've woven, and here are the tags, and start attaching them to the saris that you've woven. There were tears in the eyes. They said, our families have been weaving for hundreds of years, and nobody has given us this recognition. It's the first time that somebody is doing something like this. And today when customers call us and tell us, please thank Mohan Raj, please thank Selvaraj for this beautiful sari, and we show them that, they come to our studio, they go and meet that weaver and they want a picture with them. It warms the heart.
And I presume this is one of your own creations?
Yes, this is an Ethicus sari. It's one of our bestsellers. We call it our rainbow sari.
Okay. And where is it woven?
It's woven in Pollachi. We have our own studio, and that's where. So the sari has around 6,400 colors in it.
Wow.
It's got our entire palette.
6,400?
Yes.
Wow.
Our entire color palette is in it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I think that's a great advertisement. Very tempted to get one. Thank you so much. Next up is Priyadarsini Govind, fantastic Bharatnatyam artist. May we have the AV on her, please, and then we'd like to call her on stage. Yeah.
Priyadarsini Govind is one of the foremost Bharatnatyam dancers among the current generation. A dancer known for her adherence to tradition, she manages to seamlessly blend new choreography with the traditional, thereby gently redefining the boundaries of the Bharatnatyam style. Priyadarsini has been performing at prestigious venues all over India and the globe, taking Bharatanatyam to many major international and national festivals as a soloist. Priyadarsini Govind has been honoured with many awards for her excellence in service in the field of arts, which include Nritya Kalanidhi by the Madras Musical Academy 2019, Sangeet Natak Academy Award 2012, Yuva Kala Bharati, Kalaimamani and Nritya Chudamani, to name a few.
Priyadarsini, you once said in an interview that dance requires a training of the imagination, which I thought was a wonderful term. Would you like to talk a little about that?
I always feel dancers are like magicians. As soloists on stage, in space, we create images, we create poetry, and we make the audience believe it. And to do this, we have to train our imagination. And for this, I owe it to my gurus, especially my guru for Abhinaya, Srimati Kalanidhi Narayanan, who opened the world of imagination for me, of the world of storytelling, the world of beautiful characters. So,
thank you.
Thank you
so much. We have a very interesting Devi next. Dr. Ramya S. Murthy. She's the founder and director of Nimaya Innovations. She's a scientist and also an entrepreneur. May we have the AV on her?
Dr. Ramya S. Murthy. Dr. Ramya S. Murthy is the founder and director of Nimaya Robotics from Chennai and has spent the last 8 years of her life working towards a singular goal to help children with special needs. Dr. Ramya developed Supra Yoga, an IoT-based cloud-monitored service and training methodology that helps accelerate the rate of learning by more than 60% in children with ASD. She has been awarded the Women Transforming India Award 2021 by Niti Aayog. Her work has also been published in several international scientific journals on robotics.
Ramya, what drew you to working with teachers who were working in ASD? Sorry? What drew you to working with teachers who were working in autism spectrum disorder?
First of all, thank you so much. Such an amazing recognition and lovely to share stage with such eminent personalities. I think I had more fangirl moment than an actual...
We're all fangirls today.
Seriously, I freaked out looking at a few people. So actually what happened was, one of the things that we found out was, during my PhD, this was actually my PhD that got converted into the startup. So what happened was I ended up in a fire accident at one point of time. So I was in a very low stage. I lost all my data. But I had worked with a lot of students and, in the special education sector. So one of the reasons why this Nimaya came about was, once when I was working, I got a call from a teacher from Bangalore. And the student that I had worked with was about 1.5 years old at that point of time. And he was diagnosed with autism, and his psychomotor skills was next to nothing. And so happened that using our device, he started doing everything in the class which they were not able to do before, despite of it being a year later. So that was like the moment for me to take this up and said, you know what, if this innovation is going to help as much as 100 kids now, imagine what it could do later. So that's how I made sure that those innovation was converted into the startup and Nimaya Innovations came about. We went and looked into a lot of different schools, and we realized how everyday skills was not something that they were trained in a more technological based manner. And the constant thought process of a parent or their worry is that until I am around, I will take care of them. When I am not, all I need for him to do is go to the bathroom, eat, and be by themselves, be independently. And that's exactly what Nimaya is trying to do, make everybody as independent as possible. And that's what we're striving for.
Wonderful work.
Thank
you so much. It's really quite amazing listening to these stories. The person we have next is Dr. Gagandeep Kang, a Royal Society Fellow, and spent the whole COVID explaining to everybody why they should not listen to crazy rumors. But in many ways, she is responsible for people like Ramya to come forward as well. So, Dr. Gagandeep Kang, may we have the AV on her?
Dr. Gagandeep Kang. Professor Gagandeep Kang is a physician-scientist working on vaccines and public health, particularly focused on children and enteric infectious diseases in India. Her interdisciplinary research on the transmission, development, and prevention of enteric diseases and their sequelae in children has led to new insights and practical approaches to prevention. She investigates the complex relationships between infection, gut function, and physical and cognitive development, as well as seeks to build stronger human immunology research in India. Dr. Kang, an elected fellow of all the Indian Science Academies, is the first Indian woman to be elected to fellowship of the American Academy of Microbiology and to the Royal Society, and is the only physician scientist to receive the Infosys Award in Life Sciences.
So, Dr. Kang, Dr. Kang, none of us is wearing a mask today. Are we in trouble? Tell us why.
So, the point to wear a mask is when there are respiratory infections around. Currently, the rate of infection in our communities is so low that you need to worry more about influenza and, for children, RSV rather than SARS-CoV-2. So let the government do its job, do its surveillance. They'll let you know when to be worried.
What is the craziest rumor you heard during COVID? The absolutely craziest? Which was not propagated by Donald Trump.
I was actually going to say drinking bleach, but okay, you've taken that one off the table. But the microchip implanting process, I think, was interesting. Every vaccine gives you a microchip that will track you forever. I wish.
Maybe Ramya will work on it next. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure to see you and listen to you. Next up and last, but she's the youngest and I think she's quite amazing, Joshna Chinappa, who's been #1 now for 19 years. It's amazing work. Joshna, please, may we have you here. The AV, please.
Joshna Chinappa, an Indian female squash player, became the first Indian woman to win the British Squash Championship in the Under-19 category in 2003. In the 20th Commonwealth Games, held in Glasgow, the pair of Joshna Chinappa and Deepika Pallikal scripted history by winning India's gold medal in squash on October 2nd, 2014. Being India's #1, Joshna made her first appearance back on the tour after the COVID-19 suspension and the CIV Egyptian Open, where she reached the quarterfinals, becoming one of the 3 female players to do so. In 2022, she won the Indian National Championships for a record-breaking 19th time, beating Anahat Singh in straight sets.
So Ms. Bedi must have been exchanging some notes on racket sports, given your proficiency in tennis. Yeah?
Squash is all about the wrist, mine was the arm.
Yeah, okay. So Joshna, I wanted to ask you, I mean, what's kept you going? It's so tough to be at the top of anything, but competitive sports is particularly tough. And for so long.
Good evening, everyone. It feels really great to be here today, and just want to say thank you firstly to the New Indian Express for this wonderful recognition and honor today of being amongst so many amazing women, so thank you. Well, to be honest, yes, it has been a very, very long journey, long road, but a lot has come with it. Probably, I would say discipline, the work, lots of chocolate, as well as for me, what's really pushed me to do the best that I can is playing for my country. That has always motivated and inspired me many times, especially when I've thought of calling it a day. So I would say winning a medal for India is my biggest motivation.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
May I request you to stay on stage with your trophy, and may I now request all the Devis to come on stage with their trophies. And Mr. Chawla and Mr. Santhalia, may I request you to come back again? No, please stay there. Yes, sure. And please bring your trophies along with you for the photo op. Come, Joshna. Joshna will have to be at the last. She's the tallest. How tall are you? 5'8". Wow. This is always the nicest bit, you know, when we get this lovely picture. But organizing it can be a bit of a nightmare. All the tall ladies together. I think Anuradha and Namrata, you have to say cheese, right? But what kind of cheese? Lovely. I think we've got a good photo. Great. Thank you so much. May I now invite Lakshmi Menon to give the vote of thanks. Thank you so much, all of you. Mrs. Santhalia, Mr. Chawla, Ms. Bedi, thank you so much. And over to you, Lakshmi. And then there's high tea. So.
As we come to the end of this wonderful edition of Devi Awards, the 23rd edition, on behalf of the New Indian Express Group, I would like to thank our chief guest, Ms. Bedi, for her inspiring words. She's been a source of inspiration to not only our Devis, but many women all over. Your encouraging words will certainly make us strive for excellence and spread positivity as we touch lives. Your message that women make everything that is given to them greater than as when they got it is something that will stay with us all through our lives. A big thank you to all our guests who are here today, taking time off on a working day. We truly appreciate it and thank you. Our thanks to our partners, presenting partner Adani Group, associate partner Vellore Institute of Technology, gifting partner Ahuja Sons, hospitality partner ITC Welcome Group. Last but not the least, a gratitude to all our Devis, because of whom we're here today, as they continue to inspire and make world a better place. Thank you once again, and may we have a big round of applause for our Devis for the last time. I request you all to please join us for some high tea. Thank you.